Have you ever found yourself on the edge of quitting? Whether it's a fitness routine, a work project, or a goal you've been chasing for weeks, there's that moment, the one when your mind whispers, just give up. It's not worth it. But then something inside of you fights back. You want to push through, but how? How do you resist the urge to quit when every part of you feels like it wants to? This is the exact struggle many face when trying to build self-control. It's not just about forcing yourself to do something. It's about battling the voice in your head, the one that urges you to stop, to give up, to take the easy road. But here's the big question. What if the true power lies not in the act of forcing yourself, but in understanding why you're tempted to quit in the first place? And more importantly, what if you could transform that urge into a powerful tool for self-discipline? In today's video, I will reveal the secrets to building the kind of self-control that doesn't just get you through the tough moments, it teaches you how to rise stronger every single time. Let's dive in and find out why quitting is so tempting, and how you can build the mental toughness to push through it. Number 1. The temptation to quit. Why does it feel so strong? What makes quitting feel so powerful? Why does that voice in your head seem louder than your will to succeed? You've probably been there before. The moment when giving up feels like the easiest thing to do. But why does that voice seem to scream louder when you're closer to the finish line? It's almost as if your mind convinces you that it's time to stop, right when you're about to make progress. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself giving in to distractions? The overwhelming urge to scroll through social media when you should be working. Or how about that moment when your workout gets tough, and the temptation to skip that last set is unbearable? It's easy to chalk it up to weakness, but the truth is, it's your brain trying to protect you from discomfort. But here's the catch. Your mind is wired to avoid pain and seek comfort. The brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical, when you take the easier path, when you quit. So the temptation to give up isn't just in your head, it's biological. It's your brain's way of trying to make you feel better in the short term. But what if you could train your brain to ignore that voice and instead focus on the long-term rewards? Understanding why quitting feels so strong is the first step in learning how to push through it. So, let's dive deeper into how to break free from that automatic response. Number 2. Understanding self-control. More than just willpower. Is self-control really just about willpower? Or is there more going on beneath the surface? When most people think of self-control, they picture a person gritting their teeth, pushing through, and simply forcing themselves to do what they need to do. But here's the thing. Self-control isn't just about willpower. It's about understanding your mind, your emotions, and your motivations in a much deeper way. What if I told you that self-control isn't just something you have or don't have? It's a skill, one that you can build and strengthen with practice. And it doesn't have to be a battle of pure willpower. In fact, fighting against your urges all the time can actually backfire. Instead, self-control is about setting yourself up for success. It's about building systems that make it easier to stick with your goals. For example, when you're working on a big project, it's not just about having the will to keep going, it's about breaking down the task into smaller, more manageable chunks. When you're hitting the gym, it's not just about sheer determination, it's about creating a routine that supports your progress without overwhelming you. Self-control is also about recognizing that your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stay on track. Have you ever tried to work in a room full of distractions? It's nearly impossible. So, setting up an environment that minimizes distractions is a key part of self-control. Number 3. The role of emotions. How they drive our decisions. What role do emotions play in the decisions we make when we feel like quitting? Can our feelings be the key to unlocking greater self-control? Let's face it, emotions are powerful. They can be a driving force behind almost everything we do. Think about it. When you're frustrated or overwhelmed, that's when you feel most tempted to quit. But did you know that emotions are actually your mind's way of trying to communicate something important to you? Emotions like fear, frustration, and self-doubt are natural responses when you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. They're not signs of weakness, they're signs of growth. So, how can you use your emotions to fuel your self-control rather than letting them drag you down? One way is by acknowledging your feelings without judgment. Instead of pushing them away or feeling guilty about them, allow yourself to feel them fully. Emotions like frustration can be a signal that you're on the right path, that you're challenging yourself and moving beyond your limits. But how do you turn this emotional energy into something positive? It's all about reframing your thoughts. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, what's at stake here? What will I gain if I push through this discomfort? Shifting your focus from short-term pain to long-term gain can help you override that emotional urge to quit. Number 4. The power of small wins. Building momentum to keep going. Have you ever noticed how small victories can give you the strength to keep going? Can tiny achievements really help you build the self-control to push through bigger challenges? This one is huge. Small wins are the unsung heroes of building self-control. Here's why. Every time you succeed in even the smallest task, your brain releases a dose of dopamine, the reward chemical. And the more wins you stack up, the more your brain becomes conditioned to keep going. This principle isn't just for huge life goals. It works on a micro level too. For instance, if you're trying to build a new habit, don't focus on the end goal right away. Instead, focus on the small milestones along the way. Did you complete today's task? Celebrate that. Did you stay on track for an entire week? That's another win. By celebrating small victories, you build confidence and momentum. Your mind starts to associate effort with reward, which makes it easier to keep going even when the going gets tough. Number 5. Overcoming the desire for instant gratification. Why is it so hard to resist that immediate reward, and how can you train yourself to think long-term? Instant gratification. Let's be honest, we all love it. The instant satisfaction of scrolling through social media, eating that donut, or skipping a workout to relax on the couch. But the problem is, these instant rewards often stand in the way of bigger, more meaningful long-term goals. Have you ever made a decision that felt amazing in the moment, but left you with regret later? That moment when you gave in to that temptation, only to realize that it took you further from where you wanted to be. It happens to the best of us. Here's the thing. The human brain is hardwired for instant gratification. It's the reason you want that quick, easy reward instead of putting in the long hours of work. But overcoming this urge can be a game changer in building self-control. One powerful way to beat instant gratification is by practicing delayed gratification. This is all about training yourself to wait for something better, and the reward that comes with it. If you can condition your mind to resist the small, immediate pleasures in favor of the larger goal, you can start to build unstoppable momentum. Think of it like this. Every time you resist that instant temptation, you're building mental muscle. It's a skill that gets stronger with every decision. Over time, it becomes second nature, and resisting the short-term rewards becomes easier. Number 6. Creating a ritual. How consistency shapes self-control. Can sticking to a ritual every day actually boost your self-control? How does consistency work in our favor when it comes to mental toughness? Consistency is the secret ingredient behind self-control. Think about it. If you could make doing the right thing part of your daily routine, wouldn't it be easier to stick to your goals? The truth is, rituals are powerful. When you build a consistent routine, you reduce the mental load of decision-making. Imagine waking up every morning with a set plan. No question, no procrastination. This reduces the chances of you giving in to distractions or the temptation to quit. Why does this work? It's because routines automate your behavior. The more automatic your actions become, the less energy you spend fighting temptation. When something becomes a habit, it doesn't feel like a struggle anymore. It becomes a part of you. This can apply to virtually anything, whether it's a morning workout, a study schedule, or even simply eating healthy. The more you repeat the ritual, the less effort it requires, and the stronger your self-control becomes. Number 7. The importance of accountability. Why you can't do it alone. Have you ever reached a goal because someone was holding you accountable? What role does having someone watch your back play in your ability to push through when things get tough? Self-control is often viewed as a solitary pursuit. But here's a little secret. Most of the time, you need someone else to keep you on track. Why? Because we're not perfect, and sometimes we need that external nudge to keep going. Think about the last time you achieved something significant. Was there someone in your life who supported you or checked in on you? Maybe a friend, a partner, or a colleague who held you accountable. That's because accountability makes it harder to back out when things get tough. Studies show that people are much more likely to stick to their goals when someone else is involved. It's human nature, we don't want to let others down. So whether it's a workout buddy, a mentor, or just someone who knows your goal and is rooting for you, having someone hold you accountable can make all the difference in your self-control journey. Number 8. The role of self-talk. Transforming negative thoughts into motivation. How many times have you talked yourself out of doing something because of negative self-talk? Can you really reprogram your mind by changing the way you talk to yourself? Self-talk is one of the most powerful forces influencing our actions. The way we speak to ourselves, whether positive or negative, affects our mindset, which in turn affects our behavior. Have you ever noticed how easily negative thoughts creep in? I can't do this, I'm not good enough, it's too hard. But here's the truth, those thoughts don't have to control you. You can change the script. Instead of letting those negative thoughts hold you back, start using positive, motivational self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't, replace it with, I'm capable of overcoming this. Shift your focus from what you can't do to what you can do. The power of this is immense. Positive self-talk helps reduce stress, improves your confidence, and increases your overall resilience. So, every time that voice in your head tells you to quit, flip it around and remind yourself that you've got this. Number 9. Embracing failure. How setbacks can fuel your success. Have you ever feared failure so much that it stopped you from trying? What if I told you that failure isn't the end? It's actually the key to mastering self-control. The fear of failure is one of the main reasons we quit. We get afraid that we're not good enough, or that we'll disappoint ourselves and others. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. If you want to build self-control, you need to learn to embrace failure, not fear it. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Every time you fall, you learn something valuable that will help you push forward the next time. So, instead of quitting when things go wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What will I do differently next time? When you change your perspective on failure, you stop fearing it and start using it as fuel to move forward. Number 10. Finding your why. The motivation that never fades. What's the one thing that will keep you going when the going gets tough? How do you find the motivation that lasts beyond a fleeting moment of inspiration? Here's the thing, if you don't have a clear why, your motivation will fade when the challenges come. That's why your why is the cornerstone of your self-control. It's the reason behind your goals, the fuel that keeps you moving forward when everything feels like it's working against you. But how do you discover your why? It starts by getting really honest with yourself. Why do you want to achieve this goal? Is it for yourself, your family, your future? Your why should stir something deep within you. It should be so strong that, when things get tough, you can remind yourself of it and reignite that inner drive. Once you find your why, it will guide you through even the hardest days. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but your why will be the anchor that keeps you grounded. Every time you want to quit, ask yourself, what will I gain if I keep going? Let that question propel you forward. Conclusion. You've made it to the end. Now that you have these powerful strategies, it's time to put them into action. Self-control isn't about sheer willpower. It's about understanding why you feel tempted to quit, and then building systems, rituals, and mindset shifts to stay on course. It's about building a connection with your own emotions, embracing failure, and using your why as your guiding light. So, the next time your mind says, quit, ask yourself, what will I miss out on if I stop now? What's waiting for me on the other side? Then, keep going. Because you've got this.